I think it's the think bag. Yeah, so the think bag. Oh, that's the intro. That's the intro.
And he's gone.
And his
He's
connection's gone.
Right,
we're going to end it there before it gets any worse.
So I had a great point.
Hello, welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. How are we today? How is everyone? We've got James, we've got Benj, ready to film another podcast. And today we've got kind of a change. It's different because we're used to seeing win the toss, bat second, and chase down the score. Whereas today it's different because Sunrisers Hyderabad, they bowled terribly and then they batted terribly and got nowhere near the Rajasthan target of 210, falling 61 runs short. So it'll be interesting to see what we have to say. I'm gonna go to James first. James, what's your take on this performance?
Well, it was about as comprehensive a victory as you can get. I think we'll go to Benji a bit, in a little bit, just because I'd like to know what he thinks of the Rajasthan innings. But yeah, Rajasthan got 210 for 6, so just absolute, brutal batting. The Sunrisers bowlers, none of them went lower than, the lowest was 7.25 from Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who actually bowled really well, I thought. He was swinging it a lot at the start, and it looked like Jos Buttler, I kind of remembered why he was dropped from the test team, because I think he edged it 3 times in his 28 balls. One was a no ball. The second was a no ball, and it went over, or like someone dropped the catch, the slip person dropped the catch, and then the third one was out. So it was like, it was swinging a lot, and he was edging it all the time. But as far as the Sunrisers innings went, it was awful. So Kane Williamson, 2 off 7. Abhishek Sharma, 9 off 19. Rahul Tripathi, a 3-ball duck. Nicholas Pooran, carrying on his form from last year, 9-ball duck. Abdul Samad got 4 off 6. And then we had some sort of shining lights of Markram getting a 57 off 41. Romario Shepherd, quickfire, 24 off 18, and Washington Sundar with 40 off 14 balls. So yeah, I think first of all, it'd probably be worth going to Benji. What did you think of the batting innings of Rajasthan?
It was just what we said in a previous podcast, that it was just everyone chipped in and scored 30 odd off 20 odd. Like, if you have that striker of about 120, and then you've got one player, who in this case was Sanju Samson, to come and play a really good innings, and then another player, like a finisher like Shimron Hetmeyer, to come out and strike it at nearly 250. So it was just a solid. If you look down the scorecard, Jos Buttler, 35 off 28, Jaiswal, 20 off 16, Sanju Samson, 55 off 27, DDP, 41 off 29. Like, everyone put a shift in. So I just think Rajasthan look like the complete setup for this IPL. They've got good all-rounders, they've got good bowling, they've got good batting. A few specifics. I thought that Devdutt Padikkal looked very comfortable in his new role at number 4. A bit of a different role to what he's had previously at RCB. But when you've got, Buttler and Jaiswal in there, you can't really fit him into that sort of top 4. Shimron Hetmeyer seems like he's still on good form and coming out and striking it. But I think we can probably put a lot on this game. And I think we need to be careful to cast too many judgments at this stage, because it is only one game. And it's a Rajasthan team who were made to look very good by a Sunrisers who were having a bad day. Now, we could see through the tournament that carries on, and that the Sunrisers, are the worst team or play and bat and bowl badly every single time. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes through the rest of the tournament. I think that they batted really well, and before we move on to the batting of Sunrisers, I think they bowled really well too. Like Trent Bolt and Prashid Krishna, especially in those first sort of 5-6 overs, bowled fantastically. I mean, Zach, did you think that? I mean, that was a contributing factor. They won the game in 6 overs, really.
Yeah, I think that Rajasthan did bowl very well. They have some good bowlers, but I think one thing we saw is that pace bowlers so far in the tournament haven't got quite got it right yet. But Trent Bolt and Prashid Krishna bowled very economically or very, very tightly. They didn't give anything away. And they obviously did their homework on the Sunrisers batsmen, players like Nick Puram not being able to get away. Like to have a 9-ball duck it's very uncharacteristic from him. So yeah, they didn't give anything away, and that was probably what was the most impressive. And also Ravi Chandranathran and Yuzvendra Chahal, that is a great spinning pair to have in Indian conditions. Like that's probably one of the best spin pairing combinations you can have. And yeah, I think that will do them well throughout the whole tournament. You'll see them both complementing each other. Ravi Ashwin not going for many runs, and Yuzvendra Chahal just picking wicket after wicket. One of the things I would say, going back to the Sunrisers, is that their fast bowling is their strength. When you think about who they've got, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Romario Shepherd, who I thought did pretty well today. Natarajan, who's usually a very good death bowler. He just missed his mark a few times today. And Umran Malik, who bowled, I don't know if you saw it, but the wicket to get Paddock out was an awesome Yorker. And he's got a lot of pace. So their fast bowling is great. Obviously, didn't do great today, but to go into an IPL match with just one spinner, and that being Washington Sundar, that's just not a good idea. They need to have at least 2 decent spinners coming into it, and I think they've got Shreyas Gopal. So I think they need to play him next game, and he's all right with the bat. He's not a mug with the bat. So I think they just need someone else in there to provide that spin in the middle order, in the middle overs, because that was definitely lacking. And then in their batting, yeah, they just couldn't get away from the Rajasthan bowlers, and were made to look very ordinary. James, what's your thoughts on their batsmen?
So yeah, absolutely agree. They were a victim of good bowling, but also victim of themselves. A huge shout out to the hero of the match, I think, which was Aidan Markram. You know, throughout the face of adversity, he played a really good knock. You know, he grinned, he bared it, and he ended up getting 57 runs at a strike rate of almost 140, which obviously wasn't anywhere near winning the game for Sunrisers, not even close to getting competitive, but it went away to reduce the net run rate, or the negative net run rate that they were going to get. So that was big. And, I thought that's a little glimmer of hope for Sunrisers fans. If they want to look for a glimmer of hope, there it is. Also, Romario Shepherd, very explosive, but tried to just swing the bat at everything, and Chahal is too good to just swing willow at and not expect to go out. And then Washington Sundar, absolute credit to him. He put the bad balls that Nathan Kutanal was bowling away, because if you look at the scorecard, Nathan Kutanal was the worst bowler by far. Rayan Parag, I'm going to discard his over because Nathan Kutanal injured himself bowling a no ball in the last over. So Ryan Parag bowled the death over with his dodgy off spin. So he went for 14 and over. I'm disregarding it. You know what? That's what happens. Everybody else went at under 6 and over. And then Nathan Kutanal bowled 3 overs, went for 48 runs. It was atrocious. He looked like everything was down leg. It was there to be hit. And Washington Sundar put it all away. So 40 off 14 is amazing. However, my point I wanted to make was that don't get carried away if you're a Sunrisers fan thinking that Washington Sundar is that all-rounder that the solution to the balance of the squad. I still don't think he is the be all and end all of your lower order batting woes. I think he's a bit handy with the bat, and he obviously put the bad ball away, which was 18 of them from Nathan Coutinal. But I still don't think that he's going to be able to provide that balance that Sunrisers need. And I think our kind of overall judgments of the two sides, Rajasthan looking pretty strong, Sunrisers looking woeful, I think that's going to carry true. So I've mentioned the hero, or my hero, my hero of this game, which was Aidan Markram. Zach, who was the villain?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's lots of villains for Sunrisers, aren't there, really? You look at the top four, the fact that the team is 5 for 37 at the 37 for 5 at the 10.2 over mark it's not great. So I don't know, Nick Pooran, because he had the worst duck out of all the ducks that were there. He's probably the villain. But just looking at that, the fact they were 5 for 37 at the halfway stage, they still managed to score. Yeah, it might have been bad bowling by Nathan Coulter, but let's say that was shared out amongst three bowlers. They still scored 112 off the last 10, being 5 down, which shows that if they were 100 at that 10 over mark, 100 for 5, they'd smashed the ball around and lost 5 wickets. They still would have won. Which shows the last 10 overs of the second innings you got to really hit the right places as a bowling side, because who knows what could happen.
That's a really good point, actually. It speaks a lot to bowling a good power play. What were you going to say, Bench?
I was going to say, yeah, my hero and villain, I think, yeah, of the whole game, Coulter was the villain. I mean, he looked like he was nursing a bit of a calf injury, so maybe that was a reason why he was particularly poor with the bat. I think that with the ball. I think though that Sunrisers didn't quite get their tactics right. I know they'd been set a big score, so I'm going to say it's the think tank of Sunrisers was my villain of today.
Yeah.
I like these out of the box villains. Like, it was in the very first one we did, you said Deepak Chahar's leg or something. So yeah,
I think it's the think bag. Yeah, so the think bag. Oh, that's the intro. That's the intro.
And he's gone.
And his connection's gone. Right, we're going to end it there before it gets any worse.
So I had a great point. So this think tank of Sunrisers, I think, is the main villain of this piece. Like, I think Aidan Markram, he didn't look like he was getting off at the start. He wasn't, striking the ball cleanly. It took him a while to get in. So putting him down at number 5, I know why they did it, because they wanted Nick Pooran to come out and play a big innings. He was swinging over cow corner from ball 1, so I can see why they did that. But I don't know. I just think it didn't quite come off in this match. That's my point. There we go.
Thank you.
I'll shut up now.
Right, fantasy update. We're ready. So I'm down in 13th out of 15. James is 14th out of 15. We're having a nightmare. And I specifically picked players who are definitely going to be playing, and they're going to be playing 2 games in this first game week. And I'm at the bottom. And Dad's Barmy, who have picked at least 5 players who haven't got a game, is up at the top with a massive 772 points. But that is just down to having Duplessis as captain. So there we go. But yeah, join the league. The link's in the description. Share it with your friends. You've all got lots of friends. Share the fantasy league with your friends. And yeah, I think that's everything.
Sweet. Subscribe, like,
yeah, definitely.
Follow our social medias, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.